Good morning, and thank you for joining us in our worship time today at the North Bloomfield United Methodist Church. Today we take a look at a few short words from Psalm 19, where the psalmist urges us to see God and the miracles all around us. We read today from Psalm 19, verses 1 to 4. And shall we listen to these words of the psalmist as he speaks in Psalm 19? The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they reveal knowledge. They have no speech. They use no words. No sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. My friends, these words taken from Psalm 19, verses 1 through 4. My friends, when you look out at the beauty and the splendor of the world all about us and around us, beholding its great beauty, detail, and complexity, how can you not see the beauty and wonder of God behind it all? How can you not see divine purpose, intelligent design within it and through it? The great thinker Albert Einstein, he once said, "There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as if everything is." Ellsworth Callus, a great preacher, he once said that the great 17th century poet and preacher John Donne, he told his London congregation one Easter Sunday that there is nothing God has established in our constant course of nature, which is therefore part of every day, that wouldn't seem a miracle if it were done but once. He said, "I suspect that if the sun rose only once in one's lifetime, we would wait all our days for that one inestimable miracle to happen again." Reinforcing Callus's point, I'm reminded of the story of the first motion picture ever shown to people in a room in France back in the 1880s. Nobody quite knew what was going to happen. No one had ever seen a motion picture before. No one knew then quite what to expect. The inventor had filmed a motion picture of a railroad train coming toward his camera's position in order to show off his new invention. And the film was projected onto a blank wall in the room where many, many people were gathered. The unveiling of the invention, it ended with people running and screaming out of the building because they had never seen a moving motion picture before. They didn't know what was happening. Many thought that the train was real. And they fled out of the building running and screaming in terror, because they felt that they were about to get run over. My friends, many people in the room that day, they thought the train was real. They didn't know that it was merely a projection. And today, many, many years later, we see motion pictures every day, and we don't think two thoughts about them. We just take them for granted. But not so for those first observers, though, which reinforces Ellsworth Callis's point that there is nothing God has established in our constant course of nature, which is therefore part of every day, that wouldn't seem a miracle if it were done but once. I suspect that if the sun rose only once in one's lifetime, that we would wait all of our days for that one inestimable miracle to happen again. My friends, the problem is we learn to take all of them for granted. Abraham Joshua Heschel, the great Jewish scholar, once said, "This world does not lack for wonders, but only for a sense of wonder." Again, as Einstein said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as if everything is. My friends, all of life is a miracle. As one person has said, miracles happen every day. Change your perception of what a miracle is, and then you will see them all around you. As Elizabeth Barrett Browning once wrote, she wrote, "Earth's crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes. The rest stand around and pluck blackberries." Deepak Chopra once said that miracles happen every day, not just in a remote country village or at holy sites halfway across the globe, but here, right now in our own lives. Life is a miracle. The birth of a baby is a miracle. A beautiful sunrise is a miracle. The fact that you can talk to someone 2,000 miles away on a telephone is a miracle. And what could be more of a miracle than an egg turning into a chicken? Sunita Sharma once said that in every blade of grass, in every dewdrop, in the mists of the mountains, in the fathomless bottom of the oceans, in the chirp of the birds, in the colors of the sunset, in the laughter of a child, you witness the glory of God. My friends, I am a miracle, and you are too. But like the blind man in the gospel story who allowed Jesus to heal his blindness, we need to allow our Christian faith to deepen and to develop our own capacities for seeing them in life. Again, miracles happen each and every day. Change your perception of what a miracle is, and then you will see them all around you. Einstein's words again, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as if everything is. Again, the words of Heschel, this world does not lack for wonders, but only for a sense of wonder. And Jesus echoed many of these same sentiments when he once urged us to see and to appreciate the beauty and the miracle in the natural world, in the world that God has created. Jesus said, "Consider the lilies of the field. They neither labor nor spin. And yet I tell you, not even Solomon in all his splendor, was dressed like one of these. Jesus said, "See the beauty of God in the world around us. See the beauty in the world that God has created. See the beauty of God in the people that God has created." My friends, human beings, they can laugh, they can love, they can experience great joy, they can accumulate great learning and great wisdom and great insight. They can memorize vast amounts of very highly technical information. They can recall magnificent memories experienced many decades ago. They can experience the joy of deep love. My friends, people are a miracle, and life is a miracle. You are a miracle, and so am I. I tell you, not even Solomon in all his glory was arrayed like one of these. My friends, see the beauty of God in the people that God has created. My friends, people are walking miracles. You are a miracle. You are precious. You are special. Your existence is unprecedented. You are irrepeatable. As John Kinney, a theologian from Columbia University, once said on how special and how irrepeatable we are in God's sight, he said once, "No two flowers have the exact same color. No two snowflakes have the exact same design. No two leaves have the exact same vein pattern. No two zebras or tigers have the same stripes. No two leopards have the same spots. No two human beings have the exact same fingerprints or the same exact DNA markers. In other words, as he said, you are not one in a million, but you are a unique instance of a majestic creative power of God who does all things well. There's no one else on the face of the earth just like you." My friends, we are special and we are precious because we have been uniquely created and loved by God. My friends, again, the words of Albert Einstein, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as if everything is. H.G. Wells once surmised, "We must not allow the clock and the calendar to blind us from the fact, to blind us to the fact that each moment of life indeed is a miracle." My friends, good advice indeed. My friends, we need to learn to develop our capacity to see God and to see the miracles all around us. The heavens are telling the glory of God. The skies proclaim the works of his hands. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they display knowledge, the psalmist says. My friends, we need to learn to see God in everything. Sunita Sharma once said that in a blade of grass, in every dewdrop, in the mists of the mountains, in the fathomless bottom of the oceans, in the chirp of the birds, in the colors of the sunset, in the laughter of a child, you witness the glory of God. As E.E. Cummings once said, and as he once insinuated, we need to ask God to have the ears of our ears awakened and the eyes of our eyes opened. Earth's crammed with heaven, and every common bush afire with God. But only he who sees takes off his shoes. My friends, in life we need more and more and more to develop our capacity to see God in everything. Again, as Abraham Joshua Heschel said, this world does not lack for wonders, but only for a sense of wonder. My friends, we need to learn to develop our capacity to see God and to see the miracles all around us. My friends, God grant that that might be so for us. Amen. Amen. My friends, I would like to thank all those who have continued to send their tithes and their offerings faithfully to the church during these very, very difficult and demanding times around the coronavirus pandemic. And if you would like to make an offering to the church, you are asked to make your check out to the church and to send them to the North Bloomfield United Methodist Church at Post Office Box 68. Or to send them to our financial secretary, Darlene Fenton, who lives at 9166 Plank Road, so that we might be able to continue our ministry at the church now and on into the future. Thank you for being with us here today, and I hope that you will join with us again next Sunday. My friends, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being with us here this morning.